So, you gonna talk to her?
Are you kidding me? That's totally your job. Just man up and say something to her.
I don't think I should. It'd be, good for you to learn to talk to girls before you go away to college.
I know how to talk to girls, but she is a senior citizen, man. What is she, like, 27? Ew. That's your thing, man.
I told you to cut it out with the age crap. She's probably no older than 24. And besides, aren't you the nubile one? You're much more desirable.
Yes, that's true, I am.
Listen here, boys. We have a zero creeping on women policy here. If you'd like to ogle some women, I'm sure your mothers would love it if you were home in time for supper.
It's not that. It's just we have this photo of you that we...
You've been taking photos of me? Wow. You guys are even more screwed up than I thought. Can't say you'd be the first pervs I've thrown out of this place.
Okay, we give in. Just ease off. We didn't mean to be creepy.
Then why were you taking photographs of me?
Hey, we didn't take the photos. Someone on the internet did.
Someone on the internet? What are you talking about?
If you'd stop slamming our heads together for 1 minute, we'd love to explain.
Okay, explain.
There's this website where people post conspiracies and other weird things, and there's this photo of you, like, exploding things with your mind.
Exploding things with my mind. I haven't done that in a while, so I'm sure it's an old photo.
So you're not denying that you can do that?
Of course I can't. Not with my mind, at least. This goes against all the better judgment I have in me, but can you take me to a computer to show me these photos?
Yeah, sure. I live like 5 minutes from here.
Well, that's me. Just, I don't know when these were taken.
How exactly do you explain all the blowing stuff up with your mind things? Can you really do that?
It's not exactly with my mind. I use sound. Remember when I kicked your ass earlier? I used the sound of my keytar to deal physical damage. If you study the physical properties of sound, you can learn enough about acoustics to both heal and damage objects orally.
Where did you learn to do something like that?
Oh, years of private practice and studying, really. So tell me more about this website. What is Onism 1999?
Basically, it's a place on the internet for people to talk about conspiracies, the occult, and anything supernatural.
Seems like something boys would like. Do you recognize the location from these photos?
That's behind the old grocery store. Obviously, you've been there before.
Interesting.
What's your name, by the way?
My name's Vella Wild. It's interesting to meet you. I'm guessing you're a cameraman, and this is your sidekick, Ginger Boy?
Usually I go by Alex. Only my mom is allowed to call me Ginger Boy.
She really gets us. You really would be my sidekick, Alex. Cameraman by day, Michael by night.
Right. So, why do you two spend all your time on such odd websites? Do you really believe this stuff?
Michael and I spent the next hour or so recounting the events of me finding Sammy, and us running into the star creatures inside of the old factory. As we told the story, Bella just looked into my eyes and never reacted. I first began with trepidation. As I went on, I could tell she was doing her best to understand my story. Something felt familiar about her, but not in the I've met her sort of way. Something deeper. I dated a girl in college who was a women and gender studies major. She told me that she believed men and women were all the same at our core. That we were all made of the same elements, not just on a physical level, but in a metaphysical level. She was a strong believer in spirituality, although she'd be the first to tell you she was religious. She told me she believed everyone had soulmates, plural. A series of people we were compatible with. In her theory, this applied to friendship as well as romantic relationships. She said that when the universe was created, all matter was one object, and that since we're all matter, we are all the same. She said that she believes our soulmates were cut from the same section of that initial piece of matter. That unexpected feeling of familiarity you feel when you meet someone for the first time means you were meant to meet. I personally didn't believe it. I still don't think she has all her facts straight. But every time I feel what I felt when Vella looked in my eyes, I thought of this explanation.
Did you manage to speak with the entities?
The entities? I guess you mean the star creatures.
Yes, those are the ones.
No, we were too busy running for our lives.
Did you try and take photographs of them, Michael?
Yeah, let me pull them up.
Vella told us things. Confusing things. Things that, under normal circumstances, I wouldn't have believed. The way she spoke seemed two-sided. As if for a few moments, a side of her that she was trying to keep hidden was visible. And as soon as we noticed, she made to cover herself up. She made jokes more often than she was serious. But when the serious aspect of her personality appeared, I was convinced that's who she really was. This was almost more fascinating than the information she was giving us. That's the thing with people, isn't it? You could show them all the mysteries of the universe, but if they're distracted by the human element of the tale, they'll shift all of their attention there. Self-consumed with humanity. Self-consumed with other people. You know? That's just how people are.
My experience with them is limited, but what I've observed was powerful. I understand that what I'm about to tell you will sound like a lie, so I ask you to look past the words I'm saying and hear the truth behind them. A short time ago, I entered into a dark place, both physically and metaphysically. While I was there, I encountered the entities for the first time. I can't say what about their presence was so striking to me, but the moment I saw them, I felt something. Something that was weighted. Like their bodies took up the entirety of the room, as if they were the room. At first, I approached one and we spoke. However, the contents of the conversation isn't important to the story. Something I said upset it, and it tried to grab me. It was almost like a mother trying to smother its child. The pain was beyond description. It scared me to death. The entity was incredibly heavy. I managed to break free, but the weight of the thing remained on me. And for the entirety of the following week, it was as if someone was twisting a drill inside me. My head would throb, and the pain felt bone deep. You probably can't imagine what it was like, you two, but just the thought of the pain now brings tears to my eyes.
I reflected on her story. I wanted to reply, but something inside me told me to let the words hang in the air. It was as if the longer the pause between her words and mine, the more truth they carried. Finally, I spoke. That's horrifying. But can you explain what you mean by entered a dark place? Or more importantly, physically and metaphysically? I can understand doing it physically and mentally, but I need some help with the meta part.
Metaphysical is a word, an adjective to be more specific. It means pertaining to or of the nature of metaphysics. Metaphysics is the branch of philosophy that includes the first principles, includes ontology and cosmology, and is intimately connected with epistemology. Epistemology is, of course, a branch of philosophy that investigates the origin, nature, methods, and limits of human knowledge.
Thank you for the definition, which I already knew. I was looking for something more concrete, more tangible.
I'm afraid that's all I feel comfortable telling you. I don't know you at all, and to reveal something so personal seems like I'd be opening myself up to vulnerability.
Do you mean to imply that you found a way to exist inside of a metaphysical space? That you...
Enough! I don't need to talk about this with you. It makes me uncomfortable. Don't you get that?
Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to piss you off.
Look, I need to get back to the arcade. I was technically in the middle of a shift. I'm gonna write my number down. Call me if you see any more interesting comments on my photos, or have a run-in with the entities.
Wait, I have one more question before you go.
Alright.
How did you get to be so powerful? You took both of us on and barely broke a sweat.
You act as if that's impressive. Look, I've trained myself in the metaphysical space, inside of the mind dungeon. I like you two, so I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Here is one last number. Call it if you ever want to open your mind and expand your battle abilities. That's all I'll say for now. The guy on the other end can explain more.
The way I look at it, we have two things we need to do. If we want to hang out with Vela again, we're gonna need to train ourselves. Also, if we want to call her, we're gonna need to search Onism 1999 for some interesting posts.
Okay, simple enough. Go grind and then give Villa a call.
Yeah, but don't forget to search Onism 1999 for some good posts. She'll probably hang up on you and kick our butts again if we don't have anything cool.
Man, are we even cool enough to hang out with someone like her?
Nope! I'm still growing, and you're an overgrown man-child who can barely pick up a record. So let's head out of Frankton and try to find some things to beat up.
Sounds good. We should stock up on some healing items at the burger joint before heading out.
Hey! Just calling to see if you figured it out. I would love to just come out and say it, but I think it would scare you to death. And that would ruin everything.
Nope. I haven't figured anything out. Look, if you're just gonna keep calling me and say vague, creepy shit, you should at least tell me your name.
Oh, it's your best childhood friend. Think back to when you met me. We were kids. I think Losing My Religion by R.E.M. had just become a big hit. My mom didn't want me listening to it because she was afraid it would turn me into a bad kid or something. I went over to your house and we listened to it on your stereo for hours. My mom came to pick me up from your house, heard the song, and freaked out. How can you not remember that? It was the funniest thing.
The story was so specific. It sounded so familiar, and yet I couldn't place it. It was like I had read it in a book somewhere or watched it on a TV show. But still, no particular name or date came to mind.
Yeah, you're right. You probably wouldn't remember that. Look, I'm going to keep calling you until you remember me. Remember what you used to say. Everything happens for a reason. That reason is nothing happens for any reason.
What a weirdo.
Excuse me. No, seriously, I'm fine. Please don't fret. I'm Marlene, although that's just the name my parents gave me. Please call me Crow, although most people just call me Kay. You look confused. May I ask why? Oh? You don't say. Please forgive my rudeness. I don't mean to pry, but I can't help myself. Welcome to the Dungeon of the Mind. I imagine this is your first time here. Ah, I see. I see. Where should I begin? Well, first I should begin by saying in the fight between you and the Mind Dungeon, back the Mind Dungeon. For all intents and purposes, the Mind Dungeon is the only thing that truly exists. Everything else is just shattered fragments of time and matter floating in the soul space. Remember to save often. One advantage in keeping a diary is that you become aware, with reassuring clarity, of the changes in which you constantly suffer. Plus, it's never fun to lose progress. Well, good luck. I've often said that it's comforting to reflect that the disproportion of things in the world seems to be only arithmetical. I'm not really sure what I mean by that either. Lastly, in my pseudo-philosophical rantings, I forgot to mention something vital. You may have heard this in a distant dream, but I feel like I should remind you. When you kill an enemy, it's dead forever. Killing enemies gives you experience points. Spend those experience points to open doors inside the Mind Dungeon. Remember though, you can decide not to kill any enemy and avoid the battle altogether. However, doing so might not be wise all the time, since you'll want to find experience points to spend on character upgrades!
The base is screwed up in this build-up.
face is screwed up in this movie.
You down. I've been a fool to myself. I thought that I could live for no one else. But now, through all the hurt and pain, it's time for me to respect the ones you love me more than anything. So with sadness in my heart, feel the best thing I could do is end it all and leave forever. What's done is done, it feels so bad. What once was happy now is sad. I'll never love again, my world is ending. I wish that I could turn back time, 'cause now the guilt is all mine. Can't live without the trust from those you love. I know we can't forget the past. You can't forget love and pride. Because of that, it's killing me inside.
I feel stronger. I think you can see my biceps now.
Hell yeah! I'm not really worried about how I look. I'm more concerned about how I feel.
Yeah, you would say that.
Ignoring that, you think we're strong enough to call Vela up?
Probably not, but might as well give it a shot if we can find anything good on Onism. Have you logged on today?
Hey, Michael. Check this out. Someone sent me a PM. So what do you think? This is interesting enough to bother Vela about?
Yeah, probably not bad.
Hey, Vela. It's Alex. Some kid sent us an email saying his sister vanished.
Really?
Yeah, said it was similar to the elevator girl's disappearance.
Okay, and he wants us to come check it out? I'll meet you at the Frankton bus stop. That's the best way to get there without a car.
You want to leave now?
Yes. I don't have work till tomorrow afternoon, so it would be best for me to do it today so I can get some sleep.
Fair enough.
Oh, and Alex, I thought you should know. The elevator girl has a name. Her name is Semi Park. I was able to get some information on her. I'll share it with you in person.
Semi Park, huh?
Okay, you boys ready? I got us the tickets already. We just take this bus to the first stop outside Frankton, and then it's just a 4-mile walk to Wintown.
4 miles? That's pretty far. Shouldn't we just call a cab?
If you'd like to pay for it, go ahead.
We could always call your mom.
No. Walking's fine. It's, good for your body.
When we sat on the bus with Bella and began to talk, it felt as if she was a different person. The edge to her personality had dulled a little bit, and she seemed almost happy to see us. We were just leaving Frankton when she told us what she had learned about Sammy. Sammy Park was a 23-year-old Korean American who had moved to Frankton from the city. She was an only child and lived with her mother until she moved to Frankton on March 2nd for her job. She was some sort of legal cleric and hadn't even begun working yet when she vanished. Apparently, the organization she was going to work for does a public TV Korean news show. The friend who got her the job did the reporting. The police have no leads. It is currently being treated as a missing persons case.
Where exactly did you find out all this?
I read about it in a Korean newspaper.
Are you Korean?
No. Do I look Korean?
It's hard to say. You look vaguely ethnic?
Really? That's what you're going with? Maybe it'd be best if you just didn't mention race again. Somehow it comes off so awkward when you do it.
I just meant, like, you know, exotic. None of the other girls around here look like you.
Stop. Please, just stop. This is seriously uncomfortable now, Alex. Anyway, my boss at the Frankton Arcade is Korean, and he always keeps newspapers around. I saw the picture of Sammy and asked him about the story. I called the police and asked them if they'd seen the video, and they said that the detective in charge of the case would get back to me shortly. This was 4 days ago. I find it unlikely he ever will.
I'm not surprised, really. It's almost like no one cares that she's missing.
I'll check through more newspapers, though, see if there are any leads.
Might not be a bad idea to try and talk to the woman who reported her missing after we visit the guy in Windtown.
I didn't say it at the time, but something felt off. The Sammy I met was strange. She didn't seem like the kind of girl who could have grown up in a city, moved to a small town, and worked for a television station. People who don't know what elevators are usually aren't capable of such tasks. My Sammy, and Sammy in the newspaper, may have looked the same. There was a difference there. I could feel it.
Holy cow. So, how far are we again from Windtown?
Not too far. 4 miles northeast of here. We don't need to cross any more highways, so if we approach one, we're going the wrong way.
Okay. Let's do this.
I took a picture of you, and then I tore in it. The ink